So the question is, at what distance would you feel comfortable an individual with an edged weapon to be away from you before you could draw your weapon and take care of that threat? A lieutenant with the Salt Lake City Police Department about 30 years ago came up with a drill. His name was Dennis Tueller. Lieutenant Tueller came up with 21 feet. An average individual can cover before an officer can draw his weapon and fire 2 rounds accurately onto a target. So we've come up with our interpretation of this drill. So we measured out 21 feet. We put a shooter at that spot. He has a partner that is touching his back, facing the opposite direction. When that partner runs in the opposite direction, leaving his back, the officer draws his weapon and fires onto the target. When the runner hears that first shot, he drops the token. We then measure that distance, and that would be the theoretical distance that an individual could cover with an edged weapon and cause harm to that officer. So this is the setup for our Tueller's drill. We've marked off every foot outside of 21 feet to see how far our role player can get with his token before our shooter can get out of the holster and land accurate rounds on target. Riley, our shooter here, is 21 feet from the static target. His runner here is Harris. He's got his arm on his shoulder here, and what he's going to do is, at his call, going to run away from Riley. And then you're going to see Riley draw his weapon and fire 3 rounds onto the target. So now we've switched shooters. We've got Harris as the shooter and Riley as the runner. And what's important to note is the difference in the skills and ability of each shooter. Riley is a little bit more of an experienced shooter. Harris may be a little bit quicker runner. But now we put Harris in the shooter's role. And you see that he's a little bit slower on the draw, a little bit slower on the trigger. So as stated before, this drill is set up to really pick apart each individual shooter's skills and ability. I've been a firearms instructor for almost 10 years now, and as you can see here with Harris as my runner, I can get out of the holster fairly quick and get on target fairly quick. All right, now let's see what this drill looks like when we add a live role player to it. We've got our friend over here dressed up in Simunitions gear. He's been armed with a rubber plastic knife. He's going to stand here on this spot. Our shooter is going to be 21 feet away, and when he moves, our shooter's going to draw his weapon and he's going to fire. We're going to see how far our knife attacker can get to before our shooter is able to land accurate rounds on target. So the Tueller's drill is often miscategorized as the 21-foot rule. And when officers hear that word rule, they feel like that is now the standard, the 21-foot rule. Where in reality, it's more like a 21-foot guideline. It's going to be individualized for each officer. It depends on your skills and ability with your holster and your equipment, and also your accuracy with your rounds. It's also going to depend on the skills and ability of your assailant. How good is he with a knife, with an edged weapon? This is an invitation for you and your department to go out to your range and try this drill for yourself and find out where you stand in your skills, ability with your equipment.